Russian military bloggers are creating panic that Ukrainian forces are preparing an offensive also on Dnipro River in Kherson region in the south. According to Russian sources, Ukrainian forces are actively bombing the Kinburn Spit in the last few days. In the last few days, the enemy has been carrying out combined attacks on the group's units, performing combat missions on the Kinburn Spit. On the evening of January 3rd and 4th, in the southwest of the Spit, the positions of our volunteers were fired upon by the Ukrainian Armed Forces artillery and then massively attacked by Baba Yaga-type copters. Unfortunately, there are losses among our guys. And the operators of the Ukrainian Navy's attack drones hit a Russian Pantsir-S anti-aircraft system in the Kherson region. The enemy anti-aircraft gun system was hit while it was on duty at a firing position, as evidenced by the working onboard radar station in the stern of the vehicle. It is unlikely that an FPV drone strike could have caused the vehicle's instant destruction, but it does not rule out critical damage and loss due to fire. The drone struck the cockpit with the anti-aircraft system operators, which could have resulted in crew casualties if the armor had been penetrated. The Pantsir-S1's operator compartment is armored and can protect against debris and small arms fire. However, in the event of a hit from a high explosive munition, which is often used by drones, the protection is not effective. Until the strike, the anti-aircraft system did not react to the drone's approach, which may indicate the system's limited potential against small drones such as copters. The drone attacks on Pantsir have been reported before. In particular, 2 vehicles were hit in January last year with Warmate loitering munitions. In both cases, the fact that the system was not a mock-up was also evidenced by the characteristic marks on the ground from the constant movement of the equipment. To date, the destruction of such systems is quite rare, as most of them have been withdrawn from the front line to the rear areas of the occupied territories and Russia to cover important facilities. The last known damage to the Pantsir complex was recorded in August last year. Back then, thanks to the soldiers of the 140th Separate Reconnaissance Battalion, an anti-aircraft system was discovered and destroyed in the Kherson region. In total, since the beginning of the Russian invasion, the Oryx monitoring project has documented 27 lost systems of this type, of which 22 were completely destroyed, 3 were damaged, and 2 were captured by the Ukrainian military. Also, according to reports, 2 Russian S-300 air defense systems were reportedly destroyed within the responsibility zone of the Southern Defense Forces over the past day. Ukrainian offensive in Kursk is continuing, and there are heavy losses for the Far East and Sevastopol Marines. They were caught in minefields and finished off by drones. Recent reports indicate that Russian Marine units have suffered significant losses in the Kursk region amid ongoing conflicts. Ukrainian forces have launched a surprise counteroffensive, leading to substantial casualties among Russian troops, including Marines. Notably, the Russian 810th Marine Brigade has experienced severe setbacks. The Ukrainian vehicles in the Kursk area carry some powerful electronic warfare capabilities. Here are 2 instances where the Russian drone lost signal far before reaching the intended target. Electronic warfare capabilities are crucial for countering drones on the modern battlefield. EW systems can disrupt drone communication, GPS signals, and control links, causing drones to lose control or return to their origin. Zelensky had an interview with Lex Friedman. Some of his statements, "This is bullshit, sorry." Zelensky revealed he asked the US to intimidate Putin before the full-scale invasion, specifically with sanctions, not words.
When he talks to you, he tells you there will be an invasion. If all this frightens you, first, I am not asking for evidence. Just give me 2 things. Arm us with weapons. But above all, strengthen us with preconditions to prevent any war. This is not weapons. Primarily, it's simply their sanctions. That is, intimidate him. Please do not say that if he comes, if he crosses the borders, if he kills, we will impose sanctions. Well, that's bullshit. Sorry. Really? That's what I understand. Wonderful. Understood one word.
The U.S. plans to tighten sanctions on Russia's shadow fleet. Biden's administration aims to act before Trump's inauguration on January 20th. A major package of sanctions is being prepared against tankers carrying Russian oil sold above the $60 per barrel price cap, as well as individuals involved in such sales. Olaf Scholz dismissed claims of a possible visit to Putin, calling them deeply indecent. "This is false. Such things should not be said," stated the German chancellor. The rumor was sparked by CDU MP Roderick Kiesewetter, who suggested Scholz might meet Putin before Germany's February 23 elections. Russian soldiers shot Ukrainian prisoners of war. This happened on Friday, January 3rd, in the Donetsk region, according to the Ombudsman of Ukraine, Dmytro Lubinets. According to the Ombudsman, the incident occurred near the village of Neskuchna, Volnovakha district, Donetsk region. According to preliminary data, the Russian occupiers shot 3 Ukrainian prisoners of war. They tied their hands and shot them in the back of the head. Lubinets notes that according to the Geneva Conventions, prisoners of war are under special protection and no country has the right to torture, abuse, or take their lives. Nevertheless, Russia demonstrates disregard for international norms. I, as the Ukrainian Parliament Commissioner for Human Rights, once again immediately appeal to the International Committee of the Red Cross and the United Nations. These organizations must condemn this crime and put pressure on the Russian side to stop such acts, Lubinets writes. According to former Prosecutor General Andriy Kostin, up to 90% of Ukrainian prisoners in Russia suffer from various kinds of torture. We also wrote that last year the Russian military shot 5 Ukrainian prisoners of war near Vuhledar. One of the most massive executions was the shooting of 16 Ukrainian prisoners of war in the Pokrovsk direction. Law enforcement officers have already identified the Russian occupation unit that could have carried out the execution. French President Emmanuel Macron stated that Ukraine must engage in realistic discussions on territorial issues, the BFM TV reports. During the annual meeting of French ambassadors, Macron urged Ukrainians to hold realistic discussions on territorial issues. According to him, only they can lead these discussions to resolve the conflict caused by Russia's invasion in 2022. The United States must help us change the nature of the situation and convince Russia to come to the negotiating table. At the same time, Europeans will need to build security guarantees for Ukraine, which will be their primary duty, Macron said.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.